Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video I'm going to talk to you about why this Highboy Titan for me has literally been about perfect. I'm out here on a family vacation, just enjoying my time glamping. This is sort of a camping resort, nice campus, beautiful scenery, excellent location, but this Highboy Titan has been instrumental in my ability to get around here for about a week. Now in my prior videos I talked about how I thought this would be literally the perfect opportunity for the Highboy Titan. A lot of other reviewers not too sure exactly where this fits, but in my mind I knew this would be the exact type of place where you'd want to get this. The off-road capabilities, the on-road capabilities, and everything in between, this has been phenomenal. So in today's video, just a quick summary after a good amount of use, sort of wrapping things up on this video project. If you'd like to go back to my prior videos and take a look at my discussion there, I do cover this in great detail, but today, kind of a wrap-up, a summary, and really proving that why, for me, this Highboy Titan in this particular scenario has been fantastic. But with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you, and if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Highboy who did provide this for review.
And so now, getting the Highboy Titan out into use at this awesome beach resort. And as I mentioned, this is literally the exact perfect place where I thought this Highboy Titan would excel. The first thing is, if you watched my prior videos, you'll notice I talked about the transition of different road surfaces. So here, booking along this dirt road, absolutely perfect. The handling on the Highboy Titan, fantastic. Transitioning to sand, no problem. And as I move through this tight little area, well, every now and then you get to those areas you just need to squeeze between. Stepping up onto this platform, you can see going up and over this bridge. The wood surface, no problem, and then stepping back down, this is great. And even transitioning to some gravel, very, very simple. So the Highboy Titan, again, as I mentioned, just a master at transitioning from all these different surfaces, and even to the point where after going through all these rough surfaces and some loose terrain, moving onto the pavement. Again, a place where the Highboy Titan is going to excel. And generally speaking, very nice with those pneumatic tires and the high deck. This really does a great job moving through these different areas. And as I mentioned here, you can see as I'm on the pavement, just really smooth. The Highboy Titan, in my opinion, and I'm not really so much a scooter guy, you've heard me say it before, so I'm not like the most well-versed at scooters, but I do have to say, I think the handling on the Highboy Titan is fantastic. The braking is excellent. The overall balance and control, wonderful. And I do like the balance. That is something that if you've watched other reviews, people kind of complain about it being a little forward. I don't find that at all. I grew up on mountain bikes, I grew up on motorcycles, and really the Highboy Titan for me is giving me that thrill factor. With the overall capabilities and the overall general power, I think it's enough. At this current time, I weigh around 175 pounds, and the 800 watt motor is more than enough to do exactly what I need. It gets me up to speed fairly quickly, and it is definitely capable of pulling my weight. This does go up to approximately around 25 miles an hour, which is faster than most of the golf carts you see bombing around here. That's one thing about this particular resort. As you see, golf carts all over the place. But no, I get the scooter. My little one-man get-around, it's absolutely fantastic, and I loved having it here. There were some other people that had scooters at this resort, but I can tell you, they were more of an urban style. They had harder tires, and they did not have the same grip as the pneumatic tires that I have on the Highboy Titan. So generally speaking, this is literally the perfect setup. Having the nice quality tires, having the little bit of suspension, having the disc brakes, and the ability to squeeze through some of the areas that the vehicles, the cars, and the golf carts aren't capable of doing, the Highboy Titan did exactly what I wanted. Now again, as you can see, moving through these different areas. This particular location, very nice, and again, well, here's your little golf cart putting by. No, the Highboy Titan doing a nice job, nice and controlled, nice and smooth. And as you can see by this footage here, well, take a look. Nice and quick, very smooth, and the ability for me to really get around this site with ease, squeezing through the areas and moving around. The other thing that was great for me, well, my family and my kids were all over the place. They were running around and really having a good time, and they're still small, so we'd have to check on them from time to time. So I had the ability to kind of bop around, get to the different areas within the resort, and make sure that I was able to keep an eye on my family, on my friends, and make it to my family when I needed to. So again, as you can see here, the ability to transition through all these different areas onto all the different surface mediums, but even more so, getting into some of the hilly areas. Now, this is going to be just slightly underpowered for more steep hills, but at the same time, you can see here a reasonably fair grade and the ability for me to make it up these locations. Very nice, no problem, and really pretty easy. Again, even though this is not the highest powered scooter, it still had the ability to get me through all of these different areas and even up some of the hills. Excellent. Overall, I greatly enjoyed it. Now, there are just a few things worth considering. Of course, if you're on a scooter, you are going to be a little bit limited. It's a single person ride, that's for sure. But then the other thing, well, what about the things you need to carry? You definitely need to think about it. For me, it was really having a small backpack on my back, but well, I'm not going to be like this guy, overloaded with all the tubes, so it did leave me just a little bit limited, but of course, that's going to be the nature of a scooter versus the carts. And well, when it came to it, I was able to pass them with ease and continue on my way. Again, nothing was really going to keep me back, and the idea being that in this particular case, very smooth, very transitional in the ability for me to get to all these different locations with ease. Now, another thing that was excellent, the ability to traverse over sand. I really did enjoy the fact that the Highboy Titan was capable of handling literally every terrain, and you can see here squeezing through these areas, going up and over some slightly rougher areas, different bumps and roots and different things like that, and then on top of it through the gravel areas, no problem at all. And it really did allow me to explore different areas within this resort that I otherwise probably would not have gone to. If I was on foot, it would have been way too much to walk around, and in the carts, it leaves you extremely limited. The other thing that's difficult at a place like this, and even with the carts, the ability to park. There is limited parking. At the same time, it's very specific for different events in different parts of the resort, so it did leave me limited when I was driving around the cart. But with the scooter, no problem at all. It definitely gave me the ability to go literally everywhere I went and transition to all the areas with ease. Now here you can see a perfect example. It's getting a little bit darker, trying to make it through some different areas, but here, transitioning to the beach, the Highboy Titan, even with the ability to go across the sand fairly easily. And it's not that the sand wasn't deep in some spots, it definitely got deep. In full disclosure, this did have a reasonable hard pack beneath it if you dug down deep enough, but in certain areas, it was very soft, and the Highboy Titan doing a wonderful job traversing across the sand and really making it across easy. Even with some of the bumps and the different irregularities within the sand, I had absolutely no problem. And again, leaning on the same point, the nice thing being able to fit through all these tight little areas and transition from surface to surface. Now, one thing that I definitely need to point out, unfortunately, the light on the Highboy Titan leaves a little bit to be desired. It's unfortunately pointing in the wrong direction, and it is on a fixed bracket that's fairly firm. What I really need to do is bend it down. If you look at the footage and it's hard to see, the actual light itself is pointing more upwards. It's actually beaming straight and up and into the trees. It's not doing a very good job illuminating down and in front of me. So one of two things. Either I need to add a bar-mounted light, so a battery-powered bar-mounted light, or I need to bend the bracket down and really get it to the point where it's pointing in a more opportune position. And you can see here as I'm working my way through this tight little area, the exact beam pattern. Now, the one thing that's nice, the light definitely will draw attention to you. It's for safety, it's going to allow people to see you, it's going to allow pedestrians to see you, and if it's getting darker, certainly the ability for other cars or vehicles to see you. But generally speaking, as I mentioned, the light is seemingly pointed a little bit high, and I think it would work out a little bit better if it was pointed closer towards the ground. Now, the last thing that I'm going to do, again, potentially bend that bracket down just a little bit to get me some advantage of the light, but overall, not too big of a deal. It did definitely provide me with a little bit of safety, a little bit of security, and a little bit of light as I worked through these areas. So overall, the Highboy Titan, an excellent opportunity for me to get around this site, enjoy it both in the daytime and at night, make it around my campsite, make it around the entire resort, and really enjoy the luxury of finding all the different interesting areas in this resort. I extremely like the Titan. Now furthermore, I also had the opportunity to let my son take it for a cruise. My little guy here, he's 9 years old, but at the same time more than capable of riding the Titan. Now, in your area, this may not be permissible, but at the same time where I was on this resort, it was private land. I had no problem, so this was awesome. The ability to give this over to my son, he was able to take off on it, no problem. And the fact that you can dial the mode between different intensities, so here you can see, running it on mode 1, no problem at all. He had absolutely no worries with the brakes, no worries with the control, and even over all the different surfaces, he could handle the Highboy Titan with ease. And the further and further we got, the more comfortable he was able to get with it. Now, the other thing that was really nice, again, his ability to go for a long cruise with me. We made it way far out. Remember what I was saying, the ability to explore all the deep areas of the resort? If I didn't have the Titan, I never, ever would have come out this far. But getting my son, going for a cruise, going to explore, it was just good quality time with him. Absolutely awesome. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad to see that he was able to handle this Highboy Titan with ease. No problem to it, and I can say even for slightly younger kids, this is going to work out just fine. And anything up through teenagers, it's absolutely fantastic. And furthermore, keep in mind the fact that they are very light, and the Highboy Titan with that 800 watt motor is going to be more than powerful enough. So if it's capable of bringing me up to speed and getting me moving, it is certainly capable of getting a kid up to speed. So just keep that in mind, but it is something definitely worth noting. A very fun and enjoyable experience, not just for adults, but kids alike. The Highboy Titan, in my opinion, the absolute perfect means to get around a campsite like this, enjoy some recreational time, get the benefits of an electric scooter, and really enjoy my time at this resort.
So alright guys, there you have it, a look at the Highboy Titan video 3, sort of a summary on my experience. Again, the ability for the on-road, off-road capability, the transitions, and everything in between, this Highboy Titan is just awesome. I love this thing. Highboy really nailed it. I think they did a fantastic job. The overall quality, the general speed, good. The overall power, good. The comfort, wonderful. And just a perfect way to get around. Now, enough performance for your sort of thrill seeker and enthusiast, but not overbearing for somebody looking for something that's going to be reasonable and manageable. I'm happy with the overall handling. I didn't have too many problems. I actually went down once. It was my own fault. Little too much front brake on a loose surface. User error, my fault, but not a big deal. And I should have been wearing my gloves, and I wasn't. But overall, this is a serious performer. I love it in this application. It's light enough. I can bring it up on the deck. It's not too bulky, and it kind of slides into place nicely. You can tuck it away. But the overall just ruggedness. This is fairly rugged overall. I like that about it. It sits up high. You can get over a lot of little obstacles, and it just works here. And it works here very well. I've seen other people on different types of scooters that have not been able to go the places I've been able to go. They haven't been able to transition from sand to gravel to the roadway and then easily flying over all of those sort of bumps and, those different sort of obstacles. This can do it. So overall, the ability for me just to get on here, hop on, take off, I love that. Super easy, super convenient, and just fantastic. So again, to the people at Highboy, absolutely wonderful. This Titan is fantastic. I do love it. And so for the rest of you, if you like this content, do me a favor. Take a look at my Outer Limitless 2 channel, which is more on the tactical and firearm side of things. At this point, that channel's growing quickly, so if you like what you see here on Outer Limitless, do me a favor and check me out on Outer Limitless 2. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.